when it comes to a racial situation, because it's like, hey, how you doing? Excuse me, sir, do you have the time? I'm not gonna tell you what time it is, nigga. Fuck you. And you gotta process that, and it hurts. It really
I can't
hurts.
see how it wouldn't. We're all human.
I mean,
beings,
I may look like this tough guy. I'll come across, or I don't let things bother me, but it hurts. It really,
I can't see how it couldn't.
It really hurts.
I couldn't see how it couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't because I just like we're all connected. We're all supposed to be. I don't know. That to me would be a lot to continue. Not only sort of in the moment that you realized it when you were 7 or 8 or whatever.
It dominates the rest. It dominates the rest of your day, because like why would don't worry about them, they don't know nothing. Well, but why would they say that? Like, well, either he's an idiot. Well, but he doesn't even know me. I just asked him the time. I'm not gonna stop. I mean, I'm glad I didn't refuse to just retreat from society and whatever, because that's an option.
Yeah.
There's one thing I want to say. I've been thinking lately about, what does this pandemic that we're in, what does it mean? And I actually, in some senses, am thankful for the fact that we've had this pandemic, meaning everybody, like, no football, no baseball.
Yeah.
Everybody has had to be put on pause.
Yeah.
It's kind of in a sense that, because the attention that racism, anti-racism is getting now, well, however you depend on look at it, is I really don't think it ever would have happened if it were not for the pandemic, because in a sense, it's a little, everybody, no matter what race you are, you get a little taste of what it's like to be black, because now you got, everybody's worried about their job.
Yeah.
People are worried about going to stay at home. How are you going to feed your kids? Your health care. That's like, if there's no dichotomy or scenario that I can think of that would allow everyone to really take a look at each other and themselves at the same time.
Yeah.
And
it forced everyone to, like, that's why I feel like everyone came to the streets, because everyone was like, I'm tired of being in my home, and it did force everyone to really think about it, because we're not all off working as much as we normally do or whatever.
Yeah.
And it gave people that chance to kind of, I mean, as I'm sure you did. I mean, I've seen some incredible, amazing videos of just various protest things, and I've seen some really ugly stuff too, which is I'm sure you have seen as well. But it's that's an amazing point. I mean, it's almost like, I don't know, this pandemic happened, and it was like a bit of a boost for the expression to grow at a level that maybe wouldn't have been as strong.
It affected everybody. I mean, the black community there's been cries for years and years and years, and for whatever reason, people haven't heard those cries. But there is one thing: it's unfortunate that digital video footage had to be the cry that was heard, because you cannot deny what you saw when, for example, George Floyd, the officer had his knee on his neck, killed him.
Yeah.
You can't, hearing it is one thing,
Yeah.
but seeing it
Yeah.
is another.
Yeah.
And I think without that, we still might be in this circle of, oh, well, I don't, it's easier to just look away, but you can't look away from that.
No, you can't. No.
And if you say if you don't feel anything by seeing that, then nothing
I know.
else will.
Then it's kind of that should make you want to act or and it's been amazing to see everybody, like you were saying to me on the phone, you were saying how it's been great to not only see obviously the black community get out, but a lot of whites and other communities get involved in getting together, because it is really up to all of us. And I as I said to you,
exactly,
it's all of our responsibility to end this, as soon as possible, to figure out, how can we end it? How can we stop it's just a system that's there for some reason. It's no different than, like, I have this thing that I do with my daughter every night where we run through a bunch of different words. She sits on my lap and I hit different points on her body, shoulders, head, chest, belly, and I see, I'm strong, I'm smart, I'm spirited, I'm
good.
Powerful, I'm world class. And I sort of go through all this thing and I'm like, how is that any different than someone teaching someone? Because then when that little white boy comes home, and wherever you want to pick around the world and doesn't understand the differences in class or whatever, or just sees people.
Yes.
At what point, I'm trying to think of where I was going with that, but I'm trying to.
I'm sorry. I mean, it's a lot, man.
I'm just saying in terms of that little boy gets taught. He gets the parent says, oh, well, that's because of this, and starts feeding the child the racism. Just the way I'm teaching my daughter how to believe in herself and whatever it might be. It's just it's a taught situation to someone who can then receive it. As I told you, some of my friends down in Kentucky, where I went to university, unlearned the racism, and we're like, no, wait a second, no, that doesn't, and because
they learned.
They unlearned racism.
Oh, I see. They unlearned.
They unlearned it because they
shed what they had been taught as a child.
And they shed it. They're like, no, that's not.
That's good. That's fantastic.
That's not what I'm about. No, people are this. We are all people. And so, I don't know. I feel like it is our responsibility to teach our children. It's our responsibility to connect with one another. It's our responsibility to vote. It's our responsibility to know who the politicians are that are running, whatever it is, it's a lot. I mean, but we have to do it. How can you and I be at the end of our lives, and not look back and go, we've definitely made a change?
Well, can you imagine how frustrated, because all of this, what is happening now is, and I encourage any of the youth out there to not for one moment think that this happened because of you. It's a momentous collaboration from years and years and years and years. Yeah. But I will say, as you mentioned, that I said to you, to see so many white, Asian, non-black, and black people protesting for basically one thing. It was the numbers. It was the numbers that really, in my opinion, did something, because, racism it has a history of it's systemic. It's built in the government. It's built in through the police force. It's built in through the medical system. Yeah. In the 50s and 60s, I believe, and I'm paraphrasing here, they used to. It was common practice to give black women hysterectomies without their knowledge, just so that they couldn't make another me.
What?
Yeah. And I mean, there's so much. The next 5 years is going to uncover so much terrible stuff. People are going to be disgusted for a long time, and and left with the unsurmountable responsibility of, well, what are we going to do about this? Yeah, because protesting and speaking out is one thing, but if those laws are not changed, we're going to seep back right into that same, back into our hockey games and football games and concerts. All of these things that have been taken away from us is the reason why we're like, oh, wow, we're able to see on the other side of the street, so to speak. So, there are actually two films that I wanted to suggest to anybody to watch that will, if people are like, I had no idea, these will sum up these the black experience of racism. One is called, well, it doesn't spell it, but it's Burn Motherfucker Burn. Okay, yeah. But it's spelled MOTHER, and then FUC are dots. KER.
Right,
like,
right, right.
But if
Yeah.
it's by Sasha Jenkins, and then there's another one called "They've Got to Have Us." It's about black actors, and the again systemic racism that was in Hollywood. A black man could not be seen kissing a white woman. Like all of these, I thought these things were just like jokes and ideas, but these things really happen, and there's proof of all of these things. So the other one, They've Got to Have Us by a wonderful director named Simon Frederick. So I mean, I don't expect everyone to. I mean, there's so much that I don't know about. I'm learning every day.
Yeah.
But I do feel that even if these kids are out there protesting, it's when you say Black Lives Matter. Yes, Black Lives Matter. We're not saying white lives, Latino lives, Asian lives, whatever, don't matter. Everybody's lives matter. But at this moment in time, black men are being killed daily. Yeah. And this is the first time, we've been crying about this for years, speaking out, but this is the first time in history that there's digital proof of it.
Yeah.
Forget what he said, show me. Yeah. The burden of proof is off of our hands now.
It's crazy because I mean, all those stories that you've heard about, it's some words when people go, oh yeah. Anyways,
that's crazy, man. Like, the States is,
but it's right there. You can see him actually
when you see it
breathing.
Yeah.
Can you not? I mean,
I
certainly watched it because I'm like, what am I looking at right now? This is insane.
Yeah.
With the three other cops that are like, kind of just like, anyways, so.
Like just move it along. Yeah. No, it's.
Let me ask you. I mean, is this something that you have to think about every day? Like, does this cross your mind every day? Like, oh, wait a second, I felt energy there. But driving in, that happened there. Then, like, is it basically something that is it like a suitcase that you have to kind of bring with you that weighs a certain amount of pounds and you have to basically carry it with you?
I put it to you like this. I never take my insurance out of my vehicle because I don't want to be caught accidentally, let's look at the insurance thing. And then sorry, officer, I left it up in my house. When I go into my vehicle, I take a walk around it, make sure there's no taillights broken out. There's no.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Every time you get in your car?
Every time I do. I mean, I get that from being a pilot as well, but just call it a walk around. But I walk around my vehicle to make sure because I'm not gonna when I've been stopped so many times for bullshit reasons that now whenever the police stop me, if you're gonna stop me, you better have your shit together. What I mean by that is not I'm this great bad guy or whatever, but it's just that don't come to me with why are you stopping me? Am I under arrest? What is the reason that you're stopping me for? What is your like? I got to ask them all these questions because I know my rights.